Hey everyone, so this is the first time with the Rode PodMic, and I've got it on the Elgato arm, so it's right in front of my face now. This should be a very pleasing sound, and I thought rather than letting you see my ugly mug, we'll just play through Pragmata, the sketchbook demo, and I'm just going to riff off the cuff. I really don't want to be one of those channels where it's scripted or I just want to be able to react in real time and let you know exactly what it is that I'm seeing. I have played this before, but I played it over on my other system on the 5070, so it's going to be nice to see how this is going to be on the 5080. Right now I'm looking at my i9, it's about 75C. I just turboed up to about 80C just to get these compilers sorted. So I mean, it's one of the 2026 problems, isn't it? You know, it's just one of those things. But once the shaders are done, that's it, sorted. My GPU's hovering at 43, so it's not even breaking a sweat. And honestly, 74, 75 I think is absolutely normal for an i9. It's not looking like it's hotspotting or anything. It's not looking like it's getting, when I say hotspotting, I mean the pocket above. Usually, you know, if that gets hot, and the radiator stays hot, it will start, you know, slowly going up, but it's not. I can see it dropping 76, 72, 73. So I know that the radiator is actually doing its job. This is a very long compile. If there's any sort of coders and stuff here, or anyone on the technical side, kind of let me know. But I know this is the Reach for the Moon engine, same as Resident Evil. It's a beautiful engine, by the way. I absolutely love this. I think I would take a deal with Capcom just to use it, but I don't think Capcom would want you know, a subsidiary that competes with one of their main IPs, unfortunately. But who knows? Worse things have happened, stranger things have happened at sea, as they say. But yeah, I mean, Pragmata has been one of those games where since the moment I saw it, it sort of had something different about it. Even though the DNA is most definitely that sort of platinum era, PS3, you know, something like Remember Me or Vanquish, especially as we see the main protagonist's suit here is definitely Vanquish-esque. And it's still under development, as they're saying. Okay, no problem. Health warning, also not a problem. Capcom. And then here we are, powered by all this stuff. RE engine. Adjust the image until the one on the left is barely visible. Okay, so I can't see anything. So let me just turn my controller on. And then let's see if we can... on the left is just barely visible. Okay, here we are. And then image on the left is just barely visible. Okay, done. To my liking. Middle, we'll go for the middle. Okay, and let's just see what the settings default to. Loading. I'm on the 850Xs, so there's not a whole lot loads faster. Controls, camera, display, graphics, here we are. So it's defaulted back to 1440, which is what I was playing it as before. So let's knock that up. Is it to 4K? Yes, I want to keep that resolution. And then frame rate 120. Is that it? Variable. Okay. Variable it is then. VSync off. I mean, my monitor's 240. High DLSS. DLSS is actually better than TAA, I think. I think that DLSS Quality actually looks better. I could go DLAA. Let's just go for quality. Frame gen, DLSS, definitely try and max this out. high, texture quality max, so it's not as intensive as Resident Evil. Mesh quality max, defaulted very low, but we will see why in a moment, or why not. Video quality 4K, yeah, max. Okay, let's see how it plays this then. I'm just going to toggle a little frame counter. I'm not sure. Can you see the frame counter? Let me just Control Alt into the. Oh, it's Capcom. Alright, I'm not sure if you can see this frame counter, but I'm getting 100 frames at the moment on this splash screen, and the GPU's running at 100%. VRAM is only at 60%. Let's just log in and let's see what it looks like. I can notch it down to balanced if I need. Standard. Okay, let's have a little look. So I'm getting 160, 170.
Hey, Diana! Little help here!
So the robots don't seem too special, or at least these ones. They're just humanoid robots. Obviously Diana is stunning in her fidelity. I just noticed this, how she's drawn all over his suit. That's pretty cute. Let me just do this a minute. So obviously there's not a lot to say about here. We're just in a reflective white room. And this is a drawing from the trailers, I presume. But it is cute. There is, there's something to be said for that as well. Aim and then move my cursor. Okay. So we're trying to hit all of the nodes, and this happens in real time, which, when I first saw this I was like, what is this? But it actually does make the combat a little more tense.
More of them?
God, this looks good. And this is like a game that's not out yet. It's coming out in 2 months time, and I'm getting 195 frames. My GPU is maxed at 100%, but the VRAM is only at 68%. You could run this on a 12GB card, so far at least. Okay, there we are. So when they open up like that, then they become easier to kill. But you have to do the little puzzle for them to open up, and it's very difficult to even really notice what's going on in the background as you're doing the combat, which is good in a sense, in a gameplay sense, in a dissection sense. There's not a lot for me to talk about because I'm just trying to complete the puzzles, but it doesn't, it doesn't feel very awkward or anything. During investigation of abnormalities at the cradle, Hugh Williams becomes isolated and meets a young android, Diana. The two head to the top floor of the solar power plant to restore the main power so they can call Earth for help. Cool.
First, we get the power on. Let's move.
And now we're into corridors. So again, it definitely has that sort of PS3 type game feel to it. And this is what I do like about Capcom. They never forget that their games are games. They're very playable. They have sort of like, I don't want to call them repetition loops, but they're little, they are really, aren't they? You just get used to doing things a certain way.
Don't look now. We got company.
And I think that's a very Japanese developer thing as well.
This is my fault?
Okay, so RB to dodge. Okay, do I need to dodge? So I don't know what's going on. Oh, I need to hack it. Okay, so once I've hacked it, I can shoot it. So, okay, didn't do very good. So I got shot there. Whereas you can see, you really have to be on your A game. Let me just have a little look at some of these assets here at the moment. So, look at that. Look at the fidelity on that. You can't quite make out the barcode, but you can definitely make out some of the text. And you got these intricate cables. That's some really nice stuff. That's some really nice work. And even this has got a texture to it. It's a geometric texture to the panel. And this is why, one of the reasons why I want to be maxing out everything and benchmarking everything, because on a PlayStation you just run past this. But look at that, the reflections. You can see the reflections of every... Oh, that is... Okay, I'm a little bit impressed. A little bit, a lot of it. Even there, you can see it there. That. Let's carry on. But everything's very video gamey, the way it's designed, you know, and that's... I don't think there's a mistake there. I think that they did that on purpose. Very Japanese in this sense. I find the Japanese sort of, for the most part, tend to sort of, they don't cross wires. They know video games are video games. And look at this a minute. That does look good. A lot of work must have been put into that. But once you've done it once, I suppose it would be much easier to do it multiple times. And I'm not 100% sure what the usefulness of all these warnings and stuff are. And all of this sort of, I think it's just meant to make it look futuristic. But I'm just trying to think, like, why you would want all that astral distributed by Metacorp using dry area. Strange, considering it's a piece of glass and then warnings up there. And some of you are probably thinking you're getting right in the weeds now, but you know, the little things matter. The devil's in the details.
It's locked.
I can open it.
Okay, she can open it. Nice and easy. There's two more.
Please reboot the main power terminal on the top floor.
There we go. First one down.
Here we are. And what's here new? Multi-hack. Yellow. Okay, so the yellow lowers their defense even more. What's going on? Ah, my controller. Controller's died. And this is why I want to do this before I start streaming. Because there's always something, right? Okay. So we're playing this KBM now. Shift is to run, space is to jump. Okay. So where am I running to? Okay. Something down there. It's a good test for the mouse as well, because the mic, because you will find out just how much sound is being picked up. But this is a very clacky keyboard. And there we are, shockwave gun. Okay. Aim, fire. Okay.
That one's not that good at long distances.
Okay. Oh, I forgot how to even do this.
Get ready. On it.
How do I do this with keyboard and mouse now? I don't even know.
Look how quick it's targeting something.
Right, right there. How do I even do this with keyboard and mouse? Forget it. Wait for me a moment. I'm going to put some batteries in. So as I was saying a little bit earlier, this is why I wanted to sort of do this, because it's not something you think about in everyday gaming life, because when a battery dies, but I suppose I need to keep on top of this if I'm going to be doing stuff like this, right? But it's all good information for me, and this is the reason why I'm doing it now, because if I was just pushing hard, like imagine pushing hard, trying to do one like very good video, and then you get a mistake, it's a problem. But if the mistakes happen whilst you're, you know, practicing, as it were, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so as you can see, it's just the fact that I didn't know how to do it on keyboard and mouse, because I didn't follow that tutorial, right? But still, I find it's quite nice to play on controller. Oh, am I out of bullets? Or charge? I'll tell you what else this reminds me of a little bit. There was a launch game on PSP, and it was called Coded Arms, and it was first person, it wasn't third person. And now I don't know who made it. I can't remember who made it. But visually, like, I feel like it was like this.
Emergency lockdown for this area has been disabled.
Coded Arms.
One more to go.
I will have to look that up. And this is another reason why I kind of miss having two monitors, because even though one monitor is such a better experience overall, I think that one monitor is just... I've got no monitor dangling there in my peripherals or whatever. And you know, I've just got my beautiful OLED here rather than a mismatch of different monitors. I do miss being able to just pull something up. I suppose I could have had my iPad. I don't even know where that is right now. But next time maybe I'll have my iPad to hand and we can look up something like Coded Arms. Or even if, you know, this was a live stream, I could ask chat, I could be like, look up Coded Arms for me. Anyone remember Coded Arms? I think it was called Coded Arms. It was a first person shooter, which was a,
This will make it easier to
how can I put it? A ballsy decision for a console with one joystick. But it was alright, actually. It was pretty decent from what I remember of it. I love the PSP. It felt so futuristic.
Whatever. Let's just get this over with. This freaking thing is tough as hell.
Okay. I died there. Let's see what happens. I can just restart it. So that's not a problem. I can just restart it. That's nice. They're not punishing us too much. I'm quite far back though. Going to have to rush. Scan. Okay.
look out for parking.
Guess that's that.
Like I said, I'm just plowing through this because we've already done this part, right? In some ways, it's kind of Death Stranding-y, a little bit. I mean, Death Stranding's a beautiful game in its own right. I can't get into it. I tried getting into the first one. I tried
Bunch of bots, so we can use this to hit.
I tried getting into the second one, and it's just... I think Kojima was just... I think Kojima was better when he worked under constraints.
Something's aiming at us.
Oh no.
Initiated.
Shake it up, kid.
Okay. So it is, you know, even though it doesn't... Someone watching in the passenger seat, it doesn't look very difficult. It's definitely, you know, it's definitely not as simple as it seems when you're trying to maneuver and puzzle. There we are. So this one was nice and easy. I think it's because of the white and orange as well. It sort of reminds me of Remember Me, which was also a Capcom title unless I'm mistaken. That's been so long. Like, that would be a cool game to replay. There was a lot of games I found on PlayStation 3 which really were experimental. They were, you know, like 6, 7 out of 10 games, but they were memorable. And I think that there's not really room for 6, 7 out of 10 games anymore, because you can have a game that is sort of 7 out of 10 and not in its own right decent. You know, when I say 7 out of 10, I mean, you know, it's mechanically fine, it's aesthetically its own thing, but there's nothing sort of crazy about it. There's nothing that's sort of... Wait there, I'm gonna try and defeat this guy first and then we'll talk. But even so, like the robots, there's no... You know, there's nothing standing out to me so far as being radically different or really amazing. I don't think that, you know, it's gonna blow people's minds, especially in a post-Horizon world. Okay, so where are we going? So I'll look around a minute. So they've got telephones, telephone iPads. Okay, things at the sort of plant are, in a word, quiet. Like, this is something that I don't know if they're using AI to translate, but I'm finding a lot of games are looking much more generic in their copy nowadays. And this, to me, and even if it didn't have the EM dashes, it's got that feel about it. Gets you thinking. We're both engineers, but you ended up on the front lines of lunar development, and me, wish I could be out of there too. And also, after an ellipsis, this shouldn't really be a capital, but whatever.
Bots did all the work, leaving him bored to tears. Man, cry me a river.
Are you bored too, Hugh?
Nah, I'm good. Kinda hard to get bored keeping up with your chit-chat.
So, as you can see, like, I think that the script is pan-human, but when it comes to the copy, I do see a little bit of that there. Okay, so let's keep going. So what would you categorize this game as? Is it a puzzle game, platformer, or just a weird adventure game? I don't know, I'm probably gonna get it. It's not radically priced either. It's priced pretty well here in Thailand. Like $35 I think it's priced here.
Wow! More limb!
Let's have a look. But again, that heavy white and orange sort of, if we don't sort of include Remember Me, it's still very sort of that era when you look at Mirror's Edge, bold primary colours against a very stark Scandinavian style backdrop, again with the blue as well. So you're opposing primaries here. And then just the little effects, that's nice, makes you feel like you're playing a game, definitely. And what are these fin stacks? Where do they lead? Bet they gather some dust. If that was Horizon, we'd be scaling this right now. So yeah, there's definitely, you know, okay, let's so we've unlocked them all. Let's get back.
Please complete a manual reboot of the
And there we are. So if we jump and drop down, we should be able to get these
Alright, we did
3.
it. Now where do we find the main power?
And I didn't get that. There's also something there as well. Could do another run through to try and get it, but I'm not going to. Not whilst we're recording, and not whilst I just had the fiasco with the batteries as well. Okay, so these are checkpoints.
Hey, you remember that crusher bot? It's pretty slow.
What's
but it's
this?
good.
Net. Oh, it stops them for a little while. This is actually a pretty decent weapon from what I remember.
Their arms are super strong. So we gotta stop them.
So that stops them so that you can do the hack.
Watch out, there's more.
Okay.
Unlock.
Get up!
Jump you.
So it does add. Sorry, I went quiet there for a moment, but it does add some tension. And this is sort of like a little trick that developers do. They'll have something like this where you can just sort of run around. It's the oldest trick in the book. Okay, so that's good. You can actually dodge, and then it doesn't change where you're at with the hack. There you are. So I'm just using this as a little obstacle between me and that thing. And again, it's just one of the oldest tricks in the development book to give you play of that.
What the heck's going on with the bots here? They all got haywire or what?
I don't think they normally attack humans.
Yeah, well... We better get in contact with Earth before it's too late.
Kind of reminds me of a strange alternate reality Dead Space as well.
So,
Dead Space in another
you wanna know what
dimension.
you were doing back there? You weren't writing another apology, were you?
No, it'll be good this time.
So they're directly referencing the trailer where she writes, "And I'm sorry, this is delayed." That's pretty cool. But yeah, I can't wait to play this when it comes out. Sometimes as well. Let's watch this first.
Handling small stuff to knocking out big tasks. They got it covered.
There are no kids here.
Kind of
but if there
vanilla.
were, they could probably handle them too. And with Edith managing the lot, they're always there when you need them.
Man, what should we do? It's just so much easier to let the walkers handle it.
Well, I mean, there's still plenty of work that only a human can do. Like thinking up new innovations or new business ventures to explore. But anyway, enough slacking. Time to get back to crunching those lab results.
So I think that was a bit vanilla. But anyway, as I was saying, I'm really looking forward to getting this game on launch. Because sometimes just being part of that international community, that feeling that yes, we've been waiting for this game for a very long time and it's just about to come out, and then I can post on it or whatever and get talking about it. I feel like that, you know, in a sense is also worth it. There's something about that that's attached but separate to the game itself. Don't want to watch that again. Multi-hack, I don't need multi-hack. Then what's this? Whatever, we don't need to read that. Probably do need to read that, but I'm not reading it. Right, this is the thing. You really have to be careful with your copy, right? Everything has to really charge PSI. I've never seen this before. So this is like a rifle. Okay, so I can't have...
Charge that before firing for best results.
I can't have all of them. And then what have we got here? A little globe. Butterflies. Okay. So in a sense, this sketchbook demo is exactly the sort of thing that I'm looking to make for my game. A vertical slice, which is, you know, part of the game that is fully playable, fully realized, that shows whatever it is you want to show. So here they're obviously showing the different weapons and different combat styles, but you know, it takes millions to make something like this. When you think that everything is made from scratch, every decision is just, you know, this is not a small endeavor. Okay, so let's keep going.
No one here either. Damn.
Right, these
I gotta hurry
decode
and
things are really
contact
good. I want to keep getting those if I can. Welcome to the solar power plant. The key to the living on the moon and advancing research and development was ensuring access to a stable power supply. It's a bit boring, that copy. Typical little jump puzzle. But the thing is as well, especially when you're talking like, I don't know, do you call Capcom AAA? They're definitely AAA in some senses, but I feel like they're more in that like AA plus category for a lot of things. But what I was about to say is that this could be someone's first ever game, full stop. So when I say that, you know, it's kind of template, standard, vanilla, whatever, like to someone this is the first time they've seen it. Like, we all know what's happening here. There's a massive arena, there's a save point by this, we know that there's something going to happen, right? But again, like I said, to someone this may be their first game. Or their first action game. You don't know, you know, they may be coming from 2D pixel art games and this is their first 3D game. I think I have to really that's a blind spot of mine, because I've seen gaming, like 90% of it, from SNES to now, which I know there was a lot before, but I think that, you know, what I've seen spans the lion's share of gaming's evolution. But some people haven't. Some people, you know, they're starting today. So this charge gun's really good, especially considering most of your time is working on hacking. Is that what they call it? Hacking puzzles. So what would you say this genre is? Not of the game itself, because that's hard to identify. I would say it's like a platform sort of like has PS2, PS3 elements where you would just call it a platform adventurer, perhaps.
Are we there yet?
Not sure. Starting to feel a bit lost.
But the visual style, what would you call this? I wouldn't call it cyberpunk. I wouldn't call it sort of like near future. It's a difficult one. It's not straight sci-fi, is it? I don't think it's. You probably could get away with calling it straight sci-fi. Sci-fi light. Yeah, I think again I'm sort of biased there, because a lot of the sci-fi that I like would be considered like hard sci-fi. Okay, what's happened? Oh, my mouse has died again. Controller's died again. I need to charge these batteries. It's clear I haven't used them in a long time. Right, they're fully dead. So So we're keyboard and mousing it, but I forgot, I'm gonna have to go into here and see what the controls are. Hacking enemies. Aim. And then move the cursor. Hold the right. Okay. Okay, so I'm not fully sure. I'll have to give it a shot. Okay, so where are we going? How do I scan? I wish there was a controls thing. Is there a controls thing here? Controls PC. Mouse and keyboard configuration. Aim, weapon, shoot. Begin, cancel, mouse hacking. Oh, right, okay. Scan is C, okay. I don't think this is the kind of game that you would really want to play with keyboard and mouse by the looks of it. But let's keep going. But like I said, I'm not afraid of my blind spots. These are this is the reason why I'm playing through these games, because inevitably I'm going to have blind spots. And the easier I can identify them, the easier I can make informed decisions on them. But yeah, I wouldn't, like I said, it's sort of like almost Mass Effect level sort of visual in terms of sci-fi. It's almost like it's very much like Dead Space, if Dead Space ditched the horror element, right?
Access detected. Severing primary connection. This is Edith. Unregistered guests are forbidden from this area. Initializing sector guard protocol.
Like if I had to make a recent comparison, it's unfavorable for Pragmata right now, but I would probably make it to something like Stellar Blade in terms of world feel. But I think the world feel of Stellar Blade is vastly superior. And here we are, we have the Robocop thingy. Okay.
Any idea what the hell this is?
Never seen it before.
So it's not one of your cock buddies? Then I guess we
How
can
does
just go and blast
how
it.
does this work?
On. Move, you.
Oh, that's horrible. That's terrible. This is 100% a keyboard game. What the? That is not. That is just not a very nice.
Come on, enough already.
No, some games I love playing on keyboard and mouse. Space Marine 2 is, Space Marine 2 is something that you can play on keyboard and mouse very easily. This, oh god, no.
Try it.
So this was one hell of a fail today.
Get some.
I think I'm gonna let him kill me. I wonder how long it would take to charge up these batteries. Could just stop this for a moment. System error. Weird. I suppose another game that looks a lot like this that's just come out is Marathon, right? But we won't talk about Marathon, will we? I don't think. I think that's taboo. How the old kings fall. when you look at some of the greats like Destiny, or Bungie, should I say, or Activision, Blizzard, they made some of the greatest games in the world, and then they sort of just ruined it with things like Destiny. Can I alt tab out of this? I find that Capcom is terrible at forcing you. Like, coming out of this window is terrible. Usually it's totally easy. So yeah, borderless window. But what if I go into window? Even then, nothing. Borderless window. Okay. So let's just hope that I've got a little bit enough juice in these batteries now just to get me past this fight. But this is a massive fail. Suppose it's a learning point for me. I could just cut all this out, right? But if this was a stream, then I wouldn't be cutting this out. There would be nothing to cut out, right? Okay. I could have USB-C'd it. What an idiot. How am I so stupid? Hey? How am I so stupid? Like I said, I have so many blind spots. Because I play wireless all the time, I was like, why do I batteries? I can just plug a USB-C cord in.
The sector guard looks strong. Vickers said it'd be in charge of protecting the master controls. But those tanks on its back look vulnerable.
I'll see if I can find an opening. If not, we'll need to make one.
Okay, so the tank's on his back. So we'll try and aim for the tanks on his back. And now we're back into the game proper. But yeah, I mean, this is a good lesson learned. USB-C. How stupid am I? My God.
Look out! On it.
Okay, let's blast through all this. So this is the same trick that games have been doing since forever. They will have a little bit of an enemy rush before the boss, just to, you know, reward those who can get to the boss at full health. Shockwave gun. No, I want this one. This one's really good. The charge piercer. So far, I found this is the weapon that you want. And let's hack this again. Yeah, this game is definitely a game that you want to play with controller. I could not stand playing this with a what's it? Keyboard and mouse. Anyway, as I was trying to say, I think it's sort of like Mass Effect level science fiction in terms of technology and look. I mean, would you argue that point with me? Okay. Oh, I can use the net as well. I forgot, but I can use the net as well. Remember rightly? Use the net, then you use that, then I use the charge piercer, and then that's it. So even the enemies are puzzles in themselves. Okay, so okay, RT for critical. I still can't get over the fact that I just didn't just plug in a... Don't tell me he's dead already. No. Can't believe I didn't just plug in a USB-C cable.
Dirty bastard!
Let me try! Overdrive protocol initiate.
She is cute though, the little kid.
Whoa!
I think that Capcom are realizing that most of its players are sort of my age now. We're in our mid-30s, so... I don't know, like if you're a younger player, how do you feel about the little girl? Is that something that's corny, cheesy?
Yeah, let's do this.
So let's try and get this, and then get, okay, this we'll have to do. Okay, let's stasis net it again. So I think that's it then. I think that's him dead. Does look like the Robocop robot. But the assets do look good. Like I said, I do think it's very cute. And the kid and the kid's drawing all over his suit. There's something playful.
Yeah, baby, we did it.
I wonder if we'll see the guy's face.
Good job.
It's strange that like the robot looks like a human and the human looks like a robot, and I don't think that's coincidental. I just realized it in that shot and I was like, I can't believe I didn't just I picked up on that just now. But that is 100% intentional, right?
All right, time's up, kiddo. Show me what you were working on.
Okay,
Let's have a little look.
take a look.
So the fidelity that they're trying to aim for is a little bit crazy. Even little hairs on her cheeks. Number 6. 32 minutes. Not the greatest completion time. Thank you for playing. And then visit the online store. Nah, we'll get it on Steam. If we get it, we'll get it on Steam. But like I said, even so, mixed feelings. I don't know how good it's going to be when it finally comes out, but we're playing 4K DLSS quality, getting 190 frames. And I could drop that down one notch in any area pretty much and get 240. But there we have it. I think that's a wrap. Shall we end it? This is Banshee Interactive. I'm David Roberts. And remember, this is not a simulation.